JAH-ACE. Brooklyn. Stick it out, great. JAH-ACE. We need a little bit of dance. The boy don't chat tough when the key knock. Listen when I hear that. With a double action, a rap pump action. Shot the drive through face like a me back. So don't chat tough when the key knock. Listen when I hear that. With a double action, a rap pump action. Shot the drive through face like a me back. We ever dip on the paper chase, but no in a haste. Warriors with no fit place. I know everywhere me I go show me face. But please, don't make me have to show me brave. Money me a pray, so me a behave. So no make me have to beat it like one of these slaves. Right now me feeling high, man. Thou shall not fuck with I, man. Boy don't chat tough when the key knock. Listen when I hear that. With a double action, a rap pump action. Shot the drive through face like a me back. So don't chat tough when the key knock. Listen when I hear that. With a double action, a rap pump action. Shot with drive through face like a me back. Me a the realist when them hear about. Brain fly like airport. Bird a bring storm, get a raincoat. Bullets a fly like birds when they stay cold. Bird a breeze cock, no deep throat. I just me a fi reload. Clip long like the road. Shoot you a spin beer and land out a seafood.
Salute and love. You already know who it is. JAH-ACE from JAH-ACE TV. Yeah, hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. And definitely hit that comment section. Y'all know when I come for real, man. You know, I don't do this unless somebody official touch the platform. You know what I mean? You know, today we got one of the legends, man. You know, some of y'all may not have heard of him, and most of y'all know who he is, man. If you was in the system or if you was in the streets doing your thing, then you know who Midget, aka Jamaican Chris, is, man. He has yet to touch any platform, but he's like, yo, you know what? Who other than JAH-ACE TV? So we're gonna bring Midget up here, man, and we're gonna chop it up. And as always, we're gonna keep it 1,000, man. Salute. Wagwan Lion.
Yeah. Rise up. You know, I've been shouting that from 1994. Make sure you know them know, say, rise up. Become a household. Greetings. Them know that freedom is a must. I'm here, man, in Jamaica, you know, after what I did. 29 years, 10 months, and 18 days.
Let the people know who you be, man. Like for those that don't know, or for those who've been sleeping underneath a rock or something, let them know who you are, bro.
Yeah, I'm a part of that. I'm a part of the trenches, man. You know, born in Jamaica, migrated to US at age 11, Brooklyn, Flatbush. That's my stomping ground, and then, you know, end up in a lot of, you know, the street life. Lose my father at a young age. Matter of fact, I came to America 3 days before my 12th birthday. And then 5 months later, I lost my pops in the street. So, you know, I'm from a violent neighborhood in Jamaica. You know, I was born in a place called Rima. Moved to Tivoli Garden at about 2 years old. And some experience a lot of things and at a young age, and influence, lose your father at a young age. You know, before my father passed, my mother never had to work. She let that known all the time. She never had a job. So, you know, when he left, he was the breadwinner. He was doing good. Jealousy, envy. So, you know, I had to hit the street at a young age, do what I could do. Flatbush, Crook Ave, Ocean, Church, Parkside. Till, you know, it lead to violence, to defend your turf, to defend your armed self, and, you know, basically You know what the street is.
What school you went
So
to when you migrated to America? What schools you went
that
to?
school is that school is PS 246, aka Wall Whitman.
You mean
And
IS 246?
I, oh yeah, IS 246. Correct, stand corrected. Then Erasmus, right down the street or up the street, depends on what direction. Got kicked out of there and went to Tilden. From Tilden, it was DFY, and seems like that shit just never stopped, yo. Once you get caught up in that system, I guess it's up to you still because you know you have to get yourself into things. But from there, did a skid bid, come out, not even last 8 months. Went back
So
for
you know,
25.
so you know
Uh-huh.
that when you say Wall Whitman IS 246, for a lot of us, so much change at that point when we from that school there because it's like you had to live a certain way to survive to survive them time then.
Yeah, because in one way, you get love in the streets, and another way, the street don't love nobody. You have to prove yourself. And you can't, the whole world can be intimidated by you. The whole world can respect you. Everybody can love you. And that's how it is in school. You had to make your own way. Motherfucker want to fight you over a girl. Motherfucker want to fight you because of the way you dressing. Motherfucker want to. It's so many things, and Flatbush is a rough neighborhood. And when you come there from you're young, you integrate with the culture that's in there. So, one of my best friend in junior high school was Roderick, Panamanian. One of my
Yeah, I know Roderick.
one of my parent P was Tanzel, American. And so you get exposed to a lot of people, and that helped me when I went into the system because I already was familiar with people that wasn't Jamaican. You know what I'm saying?
So when you did the so how long you did when you went to Spa for DFY?
I
How long
did.
you did there?
They gave me 18 months, but I ended up doing only 6. Came out as Navy because it was a camp cast, and no gate, whatever. But did it at a gate? Yeah, did at a gate up in Albany somewhere, and they I, they sentenced me to 18, but I ended up doing 6 months, and
what happened when you came home after the 6 months?
it's just back to the basic, my brother, hustling. Me come home with a little size, but the hustling just just instantly, instantly back to the basic, and it was good for a while, for a couple of months, 6 months or so that it lasted. Then it turned violent. I end up getting knocked for homicide and attempt, but them dropped the ammo. I'm a cop out to a 1.5 to 3.5 to 4.5. Came home and last not even 8 months.
What
Went
year was that?
That was from the end of '89 all the way to '93. End of '89 to August '93.
So you was on the island, you was on Rikers Island that whole time?
Yeah, I was on the Rikers Island till from the end of '89 to June '91.
And you was 16?
Yeah, I was 16.
So what was it like when you first touched the island? Like you ain't never been there before. You been to Spofford, you been to DFY, but now you
Yo,
touching the island and you hear the stories about Rikers. So now
yeah, hell
when you
yeah,
come
man. You
through there,
hear
what
it.
happened?
Listen, when I came through the first night, you know how they used to serve us the rice with all the chicken mixed up in one, the bone and everything.
Yeah.
I look for the longest chicken bone inside that shit. and start sharpening it up. Cause I don't know what it was. When I heard where I was going, motherfuckers was looking at me in the pens like, what the fuck? I'm looking at what I was going to 2 lower. The worst house, adolescent house in the building in 89. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is I end up losing the chicken bone I sharpened because they called me out to see the nurse or something. I left it in there, and then they told me I'm just going straight to the block. I ain't leave nothing behind in the pen but a chicken bone. So here I am going down to the worst house in the chair in the 4 building with nothing. Shit was dark down there too. Everybody was in. I think one person was out, the porter, and he was an old timer. He didn't even belong in adolescent, but he an adolescent. Old ass nigga. But by the grace of, whatever it is, I'm not sure that I want to. By the grace of my strength and my power, man, I was able to survive and live
Was
respected.
was everybody locked in when you went in the block?
Yeah, they was locked
So,
in.
so what
And
happened when everybody the moment that everybody locked out and you first came out the cell?
you already knew that you was a stranger and you try to look for anybody that you know from the street. And I'm Jamaican. My accent wasn't even motherfucking like it is now. It was worse. And it was so long, 89. It was like, damn, I just knew that the stories I heard, I was ready to stand up. And nobody wasn't gonna that was already decided because my pride is crazy, Ace. My pride is crazy. I can't take nobody, I can't take when nobody do nothing to me. I can't. I would rather you just put me out. So being in there, I already knew. And shoot, motherfucker came at me for sneakers I was wearing and told me what size it was. They did that. I know motherfuckers say that they actually size, but this shit really happened to me. We talking true here, This is what we do.
Yeah,
I'm
JAH-ACE
open.
TV,
I'm open. I'm an open book. If a motherfucker don't know it, that by now ain't nothing. So. I said, what? I said, so let me hear you fight for them. I don't even know why I said that. It just came out my mouth. Big Spanish dude. CO was supervising the fight. He ain't know what it was for, but he came out, said, yo, shoot 5, come between the AD, and for I don't know what happened, man. Motherfucker rushed me and I just swing and punched the nigga dead in his eye and the fight was over. He grabbed me, started wrestling, got me on the ground. I said, get off me, man, get off me. You can't even fight. CO broke it up and said, come on. That's not what we do. And just part to the side, motherfucker fucked up. Swollen. I said, yeah. And it was a Jamaican person that, Flatbush Heights there too, Mark, that held me down. That was the beginning of a long journey that I didn't need nobody to hold me down. I got it. I knew what it take, and I had that. I had that from that first night. I said, okay, this is what you got to do. And the streets know the
So
rest, man. Streets know the rest.
who was the one like? So how did was the same dude you talking about? Mark, was he the first one that gave you a raise or something? Who was the
No,
first person that gave you steel?
he just kind of was the one that I observe and talk and to get me a fair one. That's it, and I believe it worked. That's what I I get from that time, if I could remember that he was there in that house and he had enough juice at least for me to get a fair one. And I did. They moved boy because he was his eyes is damaged. He couldn't go to the hospital neither. They just moved him. And that was the start, you know? That was the start. No, they moved him and they moved me on the other side. And I was on the other side, you know, dudes heard what happened. So they kind of respect it, you know? Wasn't, you know, because I was a little nigga. I was like 5'6". I'm 5'9" now, but I was like 5'6", 150 pounds soaking wet, 16 years old, with an accent, still thinking I got the tool on me. Crazy.
Yeah, because that you see how you say you still thinking that you got the tool on you. That's something that people out here that never been down that road, they don't realize that once you go in there, you don't got no tool on you. You gotta make it happen.
Yeah, you got to.
You know what I'm saying?
Got to, man. That shit is a jungle.
So when did you realize? How long was it before you realized that you was in gladiator school where people was getting their face rip off?
Immediately, man, because my first less than 24 hours, I can't even remember if it was quiet when I went down there. It might have been the same night I got into that, but it could have been the next day though. It could have been quiet because it was so long. 89. And but when in 89, it was just chaos. It was things going on every day. The mess hall was jumping off, red alarm was going off. It was chaos back then. You know, you don't got you ain't had to wait to know that this shit right here is real. You know people popping up in the house and they not allowed to come in, and they come in and they go out on the stretcher. And you know, you go to mess hall, you eat, and next thing you know, it's an uproar. Plates flying over your head. The fuck is going on? You new to this, all you sitting down eating your food. Next thing you know, plates start flying over your head, steel plates, whatever, these little aluminum plates flying over your head, and you sliding on motherfucking food, and next thing you know, you're on the wall, and you like, what the fuck? I ain't did nothing. In your head, you like, fuck, I ain't do nothing. Like, but you realize when it was over. And it was crazy. It was over who controlled the house, who controlled the phone, who controlled the porter spot, who controlled whose name ring the most bell. This is what the fight was over. This what, and yes, some street issues, some, you know, they look, it's a street, man. It's just a contained form of street. It's a street. It's just a contained form of street. All folks walk the halls every day, like you walking in the street, up and down. Sometimes it's no security. Motherfuckers, you see a motherfucker come down the hallway, you got him, cause ain't nobody around. But you got staircase you could dip into. You got here. You could go upstairs. You could run. You could come down, and it's a street. It's the only thing you can't buck nothing from a distance. It got to be up close and personal. You know, and
when you could
yeah,
say that when you could say that the whole building knew who Midget was, what happened?
first of all, it's crazy because I end up going to the Bing and had to do things down in the Bing, end up getting more big time. I didn't want that. I wanted to be in pop on the phone. I wanted to run houses. I wanted to do what I need to do. I had females coming to visit me. I had my family. So I wanted that, but I end up in the bank. And because of my pride, go out in the yard, something happened. So I end up being confined in the Bing. So eventually the Bing became my house. I run it. 6 lower Bing, then 1 main, either side I'm on. You understand? So I was able to do everything a motherfucker's doing in pop. Phone all day, lockout all day. And I had my own rules. You know, it wasn't nobody doing nothing to nobody behind the gate. You know, if you violate my rules, open the gate. You know, and you know that after a while, it became known that no matter who you is, if you come down there, you gotta respect me. I don't care who you was out there in pop. And everybody got to pass through you at some point for 10 days, for 15 days, for more. When you come down here, I don't care what you was doing out there. You're going to respect down here. Respect me. And a lot of dudes found out the hard way. Real talk.
So you
A lot
had
of
to
them found out the hard way.
so it got to a point where they wasn't even trying to let you back in population.
Yeah, I came in every now and then, but I pop up, and you know, I pop up and I did what I did. You know, I'm the type of person, man. I can't, you can't give me no time. You can't give me no time. Fuck you talking about? You got this to this, and then he got to get this to this. So I realized I can't take time. So if I don't have the phone, then I'm not staying. Unless in the times when I'm running to my peoples and everybody just use it, do this. Look, I want to do everything everybody do. I want to stay up at night if I don't want to go to sleep and hang out, watch TV in the day room. I want I wanna keep my meat, my cold cuts meat in the sink and leave them till the morning running on water. I don't gotta put them, I don't need to come out and one is missing. That happened to me before in 6 Low when motherfuckers found out the hard way. You know, cause and it was only one missing, but you know, after that, everybody know I take my motherfucking cold cut serious. I'm about to take my cold cut serious, man. Don't fuck with my cold cuts, man. I like put the onion roll, the mayonnaise, the motherfucking. I don't, you know, burn the beef stick.
Yeah,
Put
burn it
put
up.
put put that put that cheese that melt. You know, I want to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, you gotta live, man. You can't. No,
Them onion rolls are serious.
serious, man. They left that aftertaste, especially when you go in with the turkey meat with that Swiss cheese melt, and oh man, don't put some nacho chips in it
What about the Cheez-Its?
and cheese it when that cheese it is good too with them turkey. Yeah, that's probably the best cheese. But me, I'm a plain potato chips kind of guy. So plain potato chips got that flavor to me that even nachos don't have. So yeah, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you burn the beef stick, then you want to make your tang, then you want to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? So if what I needed to do that was make sure the respect is there, and you got your peoples. You going on the floor. You don't want nobody to see a girl on the floor and call to her because they don't respect you. So a motherfucker even think he gonna do that, he's done. But look, man, I was able to live honorable, even on the battlefield, you know, and I I could sleep at night knowing that motherfucker don't got nothing on me.
So nobody could doubt nothing you saying.
Yeah, if they that's right now. Yeah, because I don't ain't nobody ain't nothing I need to hide. Ain't nothing that's I feel that's gonna pop up. That's don't listen. I've been amongst all of them. Everybody. Everybody. You understand? You call the borough, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, Staten Island. I've been in the midst of every gang member, everything, every neutral, every Muslim, every God body. I've been in the circle. You know, I had a lot of people that I had to hold down, you know, make sure they come where I'm at, and they got beef, and you know, I hold them down, you know, so, and I'm still able to rise above and live my honorable, man.
So
So
when you was down there and like when you was down there in 89 to 91, because it was, you know, those years right there, it was on and popping down there in that Ford building. It was serious down there.
yeah,
Right. So like although you may have respect for a lot of people, who are some of the people that you could say that, yo, definitely it was respect due because they
you
was
know
on
what?
the same level.
Yeah. When I was in the four, it was names that, you know, that not only names and reputation, but pedigree make you respect them, even after you meet them, and even after you become cool with some of them. And one always stand out to me was Shushan from Marcy. You know, he passed away now.
Rest in peace, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. He became a good friend of mine because simply because we both recognize each other as not only real and stand up, but with pedigree, you know, with pedigree and the fact that he didn't belong to no organization and vice versa. You know, we even though it was less organization then, it wasn't no Bloods, no Crips, none of that then. You know, it was Latin King, no, but it wasn't none of that other stuff. So, and that's another reason why it was like that in '89 because everybody was neutral. Yeah, it could be some borrowed thing. That's why the incident that happened in 1990 that started in the Bronx and Brooklyn thing, it wasn't no gang, it was a borrowed thing then. You understand me? It was a borrowed thing. And it was a hood thing a lot too, not just borrowed, because Brownsville, Bed-Stuy, other people, Brooklyn to come together when they need to, but you know, they also want to hold their own little hood down. And my hood was Flatbush. And you know, it wasn't a lot of Flatbushites there. So, and Jamaicans in adolescent back then was far and in between. So I had to rely on the fact that I'm gonna be this Flatbush dude. I'm not gonna be on nobody's side. Nobody's side. This is it. I'm Jamaican. I was raised in Flatbush. That's who I am. And I didn't care how many. This is it. And you know, so it was chaos because everybody was neutral. Everybody was neutral, and you had to, your repercussion wasn't going to come from, if it come, wasn't going to come from somebody that's a part of this person crew. You might have to go and see the person yourself, or somebody from his hood that's cool with him do it. You know, it wasn't like you do something and you go somewhere and 10 dudes from a certain organization is there. Back then, you know, but don't get me wrong though, it was still times when people's getting jumped and people's
Yeah.
getting caught out there by motherfuckers from the hood. But it was rough because you had to show up then. You couldn't rely on nobody. Even your own hood will abandon you if you don't show
We'll
like,
flip on you. Yeah.
yeah, plus the fact that your hood know you from the hood. So they could basically get right on the phone and tell them all from, yo, you know such and such from down the street, such and such brother, yo, you're in here, you're not. So you gotta motherfuckers had to show up because their reputation and they even their family reputation depend on it. You know what I'm saying?
So I know that during them time, I know that at some point, Rude Boy Curtis came through. So you took him right with you automatically.
Yeah, Curtis Ramsey, man. You know, he came through. He had that
Rest,
motherfucking school face.
rest in
Like a
peace.
yeah, rest in peace, like a permanent school face.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
had that
definitely.
slouch too, but he was able to show that he wasn't gonna take it. He was gonna take it. He wasn't gonna be bullied. And you know he stepped up. So he's one of the ones that is the exception. You know, but it to the exception to the rule and shit because he showed up. He showed up later on. He ended up turning blood. You know, and
Oh
cause
yeah.
back then it became like just a black struggle thing. You know what I'm saying? And he was a part of that. Yeah,
So
that's my boy.
so he became a part of that early.
Yeah, became a part of that early. He became a part of that early. Matter of fact, prop got to be in like the mid to late 90s. Mid to late 90s. Mid Curtis Ramsey, man. Wow.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I kept a lot of people off. Curtis off a lot of people in the town, the street.
Yeah. And that's another thing, man. Knowing that he come off the street as a serious person and in there serious, that's a plus, man. That mean he was real serious. That mean it was in him, man. Put him on anywhere on God's green earth, he's gonna be who he is. You know what I'm saying? What you see is what you get. And it wasn't easy on him. Like I said, he got scratched, spent a lot of time in ad seg, and but when you see him, you see the determination when he going through it, and you hear about it. He show up, show up, show up, man.
When you were when you were down there, because I know that there's something that you had said before about it wasn't you ain't even really care about predicates. It's about what you said.
Yeah, because um predicate, you could just randomly air out a bum in the bullpen a couple of times and they classified you as a predicate. I was a CMC for my behavior. So so enough said, man. Let me tell you this.
Break it down to the people's the difference though.
All right. The difference is basically you're not only a threat to your fellow prisoners, you're a threat to the officers. And sometimes you might have a case that's serious and they combine on. I was CMC till the day I came home. Even even on this bid, the last one. As soon as I came to on this one, they hit me with it too. And back then, it's only one bubble on the 4 building visit room, a big one. Later on, they put these little bubbles, arcades where a lot of
Yeah.
people could put. But back then, it was only one bubble. Only 2 people on M to Z visit at bubble visit. One was Carrie Wise from the Central Park case, Central Park 6,
5.
5. Yes, stand to be corrected. Central Park 5. And me. If I don't get a visit, if he don't get a visit, I stay in the bubble all day. That would be my visit because they got to wait. They can't just take me out. They got to escort me. So, few times I had to work it out with Carrie Wise not to get a visit on that day because I'm trying to get some skins up in that bubble because I'm in the bubble and I'm the only other person on M to Z visit that get bubble visit. There was a few dudes on A to L visit, but from about early 91 till the mid of 91, I was the only one. Maybe the end in the 1990, but about there, I was the only one. So when I get a visit, if Carrie Wise don't get a visit, I stay in the bubble all day because nobody else don't get that visit. And that's because of my status. So, you got some dudes that might have been predicate that was doing some serious thing, but you could get that for just anybody. Just because
You could be doing shit to Herbs, right?
of course.
You heard
Of course, I mean,
you heard that shit. You ever heard that Herb? You ever heard that saying Herb Destroyer? Like
yeah, it was a lot
like
of those.
dudes
It
that
was a
just
lot
do
of those.
shit to
It was a lot of
just
those. It was a
Herbs.
lot of
Like,
those.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of them because and at one time they start just giving you it for 2. If you got more than 1, you a predicate. That's how they start doing it. They start handing them out like nothing. So I mean, if you had it for going up against some serious dudes or whatever, but you got a lot of people, just facts is facts. You got a people that wasn't that serious. Cause so what you predicate, you still wasn't using the phone. You still that shit don't mean nothing. That shit don't mean nothing, man. That shit don't mean nothing,
Or
Ace, man.
you saying that when they came down to 6 low or 1 main, when you was down there, they still wasn't getting on the phone.
I mean, they was getting the phone unless I feel that they deserve to get on the phone, basically because I don't know them. If some dudes come down there and I fuck with them, or we met down there and but you ain't gonna come down here talking about you predicate and think you're gonna. I don't play that shit.
So a lot of people don't know because I know it was a point in time where once Simeon came through the 4 building, he started picking up beef that you had because dudes are like, yo, that's Chris Man or whatever. But some people didn't know that you and him had issues in the street. How was that when you first found out that he was in the building?
Look, I was out to see Simeon, who's in Guyana right now. That's my boy. Went to Whitman together
Yeah,
and shit.
salute.
It was good because you see somebody that you familiar. You see a familiar face, and it wasn't a lot of flatbush. But the truth is, I never had a lot of interaction with Simeon on the 4 building because Simeon was in a house where I don't know if it was Ad Sega CMC house, but I never see him that much. And I can't remember when he came and how long I stayed before I left, how long I stayed. But I was doing my little SHU thing, man. I mean, box thing, Bing thing. So I never really run into him. I run into him a few times, and I didn't even know about him getting into shit behind me. But that's not hard to believe, cause he was a serious person. He was always serious from the street. I'm talking about serious, serious. Shout out to my boy Simon. Yeah, he's serious, man. We had a little junior high school little fight. We had a little junior high school little fight. I got jealous over he talking too close to my girl, you know, and he wanted to fight me. I don't know. And that motherfucker, me and him got into a little fight. And that was it.
So who was your girl at the time though?
A girl named Nadine, Jamaican girl. She had an identical twin sister. She had an identical twin sister.
I probably know her then.
Yeah, name was Nadine Joseph. Her sister name was Natalie. They look just alike. Light skin, red bone.
So now it makes sense on what happened or what could have happened with Simeon, with Tanzel.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Was your boy.
Mm-hmm. Now that you said it, because me and Tanzel used to hang out. Yeah. Simeon never said it, but it was around that time too, because he still, when me and him had a fight, he had a cast.
That cast came from when he hit Tanzel. I was there.
Wow.
Because Tanzel went and told people that we jumped him. But the reality is that Simeon hit him and broke his hand.
Yeah, I could tell you this though. Tanzel wasn't a fighter. Tanzel was a fighter. That was my road dog at one time. Me and him made a lot of money as young dudes in the bush. Wear a lot of jewelry. You know, go to a lot of parties.
Yeah, he was wearing a lot of truck jewelry. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. That was my hangout partner one time. And I'm gonna tell you this. I probably go in jewelry store a few times and cop him something, cause we had it like that. You know, we had it like that. And we had a system where he would just go out and collect and come see me and throw it on me. We'd just get dressed, go somewhere, and go shopping, 42nd Street.
You remember Raphael, right?
Nah.
You remember Spanish Tony, the situation with you with the mink coat. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that's his name?
Yeah, Chaos.
Chaos. Now that's the one I'm like. Yeah, what's up with Chaos?
Remember, so Chaos was gonna get Tanzel for the jury one day.
Word?
He had the mad jewelry on. He was like, yo, I'm about to get this nigga out. So I'm like, yo, nah. I'm like, yo, the only reason why I stopped him is because I ain't like Tanzel like that. But because he used to hang around my man L and them, Lamar and all them dudes from over their region. And I said, and I used to deal with them, those are peoples. That's the only reason why I told Chaos not to rob Tanzel for the jury. He had a drop on him.
And Chaos serious. Let me turn this AC on. Hold on. I got the fan on, but I'm feeling fan is too hot. Yeah, and what Tanzel was a chucky boo. Tanzel like it to chuck it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but me and him clicked, man. I used to be up in his crib and all that, right near Ocean, that big building. Yeah, but Chaos, my boy, though. Me and Chaos had some shit. Me right in front of Rasmus.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember that day. It got nasty that day.
Yeah, man. But the first time it happened, he the one that got the drop. And I had to breathe. And I lay low for 2 days and then came back. I gave my sister that Minko. I ain't tell her where I got it. She was brand new with the tag on it and everything. I think she still got that motherfucking Minko. She loved that. You know the kind that never grow old? It's mink. What's up with Chaos?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You know how it is, man. We got the difficulties with the Wi-Fi and all that. You know, Chris out there in Jamaica and everything.
You can't
Yeah,
hear
that
me?
was a
You
real
can't
mink
hear me?
coat, man. Yeah,
I
I hear
know.
you.
Cause when I left, cause I bust one at him, just one, and he peeled out of that. Said it, you know, that's my boy. So listen, he had to drop on me, I had to break out, and I had to drop on him, and he had to break out.
I know the whole situation. I was right there. You remember? So people don't know the different sides of Flatbush. We got your side, and then we got the
Yeah,
Vanderbilt side. So we from the other side. So people don't know that. That's how it go.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you so after going through all of your dramas on Rikers and everything, how were you involved in that Brooklyn Bronx shit or no?
Nah, because it turned out to be not just Brooklyn, but the Brooklyn areas that was really popping at that time, so to speak. It involved somebody from Fort Greene, and it involves a dude from the Bronx that had his roots from Brooklyn, but he was in Bronx, and he was the top dude, you know, just how he carry himself, the pedigree, and so
You talking about John, right?
yeah, John. So it wasn't a lot of motherfuckers that was really just doing what they do didn't get caught up in that. It was, you know, it was just a hood, Brooklyn hoods against certain Bronx hoods, and sometimes a dude that's not involved, but because he from Brooklyn, he get caught out there, and vice versa, and it just came, you know what? But but I fuck with a lot of them, man. I fuck with a lot. I fuck with both sides.
So you
So
so
I
you knew
couldn't,
you knew you knew
yeah,
you knew you knew all parties involved.
all parties I do. Some of them I know closer than other. Some of them, and as long as I'm coming through and the respect is there, they good. You know, they good. They all respect, and I'll give them the same respect. But nah, I wasn't involved in that. I seen it, and it was just a whole lot of wasn't no really no was a few dudes that I could say was up there that was involved in that. Most dudes, even when they're from Brooklyn, from Bronx, they're not caught up in that. Mostly, you know, like I said, Fort Greene and probably 183rd or but it looked like it was going on and it was looked like it was getting crazy, but cause innocent people was getting involved, herbs is being picked, and but nah, I wasn't involved in that directly. I fuck with both sides, man. I fuck with both sides. Plus, I had my own little shit. I had my own little shit going, man. All
What
right.
about did you ever so while you was on the island, did you ever like cause you known for cutting motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So did you ever get touched down there when you was down there?
Nah, not down yet. I got cut and I got stabbed up real bad in HDM in 94. I got attacked by about 15 dudes, you know, and
So that wasn't the first bid, that was the second bid then.
that was the second. First bit, none happened down there.
Because the first bid you came, you went right back, basically, when you got
Yeah,
home.
right back. And
Right back.
that's when that's when I got injured when I came back.
So you said 15 dudes jump you?
Yeah, they rushed me. They had guns. They had everybody had a knife, man. They hit me 8 times in my stomach. They cut me in my face. I was in the
Wow.
hospital for 2 months. They had to rush me to Elmhurst Hospital. They tied me up. They wanted, yo, this crazy, right? It took me, but it didn't happen for no reason. The reason why it happened is because, something happened the day before, and they kept they were supposed to move me out of the building, cause what happened was 2 person got aired out, and they had me in the pens, and Depp wanted me to get it cause he was affiliated with the dude from the house. How dare me? So at 2 in the morning, they came and told me that C95 don't want me. They don't accept me. I ain't never been to C95 yet, but I knew. And they said, you got to go back to the house till the morning. So I said, fuck it. I never had nothing because what I had the day before that I used broke off in one of that motherfucking nigga jaw. And I just threw the other half through the window when they ran up in the cage on me. So I went back. All I came out with was 2 batteries and 2 soap and a sock. Offers rushed me from all sides, man.
So you almost got killed then in that situation.
Yeah. I was in the hospital for 2 months.
So can you say that when that happened, that shit made you worse once you survived?
Hell yeah. Motherfuckers start checking in. Motherfuckers start telling out in the open. Especially that nigga Keith Whaley from Bearsley Project. They call him Big Man. That nigga was he the one that nigga just turned into a rat, man. Like shock everybody. That's like see me. I run down on him. He just started yelling for the. He wasn't even hiding. That nigga. Then he came to Comstock, Upstate. That nigga just signed in and told on me. Told everything happened in HDM. They locked me down, gave me 90 days, ship him out. And motherfuckers was secretly ready to ride for him in the stock because he had a lot of dudes from Queens that respected him. But he just sold, man. And, my people's just catching the others out there. So, yeah, the revenge is crazy. It was crazy. And, yeah, it made a motherfucker, because at one time, I never thought I could have got scratched. I got cut. I never thought I could have. I got cut in Kaksaki. That's the first time. But before then, I never thought I could have got scratched. I thought I was Superman. I thought it was so many incidents that I came out of it. But then it happened.
You started thinking that you was untouchable at one point?
I wouldn't say untouchable, but know how to maneuver around it, know how to block, know how to do this. But what got me is my bravery. I never had to go back to the house. I know what I did there. I knew it was a setup. I knew I had nothing.
Yeah. So whatever happened to the dude Keith? He out in the street now?
I don't know where that nigga at, man, but that nigga dangerous, man. That nigga used to, I remember one time we in C95 and he came up and I ran out of the gallery. That nigga locked himself in a bubble. Yo, this nigga locked himself in a bubble with the CO officer, yelling, press the button. And she left. When he came up, she wasn't in a bubble, and that's a post. He ran in the bubble, locked the door. She's trying to bang on and tell her to let her in the office, and he telling her to press the button. That nigga dirty, man. That nigga, yo, I don't want to do that nigga nothing, man. The nigga did me, but what he did, that's enough, man. Plus, in their mind is other things, man. But that was that, yeah. And he was in the 4 building at the time too. He was in the 4 building that time too when all that thing was going on. Because Queens was there too now. So even though it's Bronx and Brooklyn, Queens was there too, a lot of my little fellas from the Lost Boys, my little man Sam, and them that I got shot in his mouth.
You talking about
I
Skates
know
and them
y'all out
dudes?
there somewhere. I would love to hear from my boy Sam, little Sam.
Yeah, I know Skates from the Lost Boys. One of them dudes that came through
Yeah,
back in the days. So what? So when you so now, and you said you got cut in Kasaki, right?
yeah, from behind, but got cut, man. But he got ugly on that staircase. 7 ambulance drove out to Albany Hospital that day. 7.
Well, that's how many people got touched.
Me and 6 other.
So you was a,
90
so
92 October.
so you was able to still get your steal, and you still got busy even though you was bleeding.
Yeah, and one of the 6 is an officer
They
that was
char-
in the ambulance
they
too.
charge you for that.
Yeah, they charged me, but back then Kaksaki wasn't really fucking with that courtship. But I believe that's what started my CMC upstate because that. But while we was in Albany Hospital, I went in the after I got stitched. I went in the bathroom to check it, and he was in there checking his shit. So I was like, "Yo, man, you had blood inside my eyes. I couldn't see. Say, yo, get out, get out." I got up out of there, But yeah, that happened. Saw the person that did it in Auburn. He checked in before I could even get anywhere near that motherfucker. And that's
So
how it
so
was.
he snuck up behind you.
Yeah. Soldier. I
That's
think
his
he's
name,
young too.
Soldier.
Yeah, listen. Young kid from a Spanish country. Can't remember. Somebody sent him on a job. Cause back then it was a situation with Rob Love. Rob Love from the Bronx. And it started some issue there. And I said some things and the motherfucker, they got scared and sent somebody that don't know me. That's how it worked, man. That's how it worked. But yeah,
But let me ask you something about so once you went up north and everything, so being that you was CMC down on Rikers, once you went up top, you end up eventually doing most of your bid in the box, right?
man, when I came up north, big bro, I went to Elmira shouting that rise up, freedom is a must. Oh, Elmira shouting it at reception every night. Every night. If I say rise up, the whole Elmira say freedom is a must. So I say freedom is a must, the whole Elmira say rise up. And we going for 2 hours. Beating on the gate. Beat motherfuckers. Not me. I just set it off. They come on the speaker. They tell me, Midget, calm down. And they lock me down on investigation. Charge me for organizing. I beat it. And they send me to Wendy. Day I beat it is day they bought packer bags. Because I told them rise up is not a cry for uprising. Said it's rise up, like be strong. Freedom is a must. I said, I'm not telling. I come on the gate, I say for my own. And motherfuckers saying it for their own. Fuck, I can't tell motherfuckers not to say it. We've been saying it since Rikers Island. We came up saying it. It's a cry for encouragement to fight, not fight physically, mentally. Day I beat it, they came with pack of bags and they shipped me to Wendy. That's I think that's probably about April in 1995. And I got into something there. I think a couple of months later, that put me in a box. And I came out, because when you in there, man, you gotta be prepared. You can't even think about no box shit. if you gotta holler on the bus, holler on the bus. If you gotta holler in the motherfucking receiving room, holler in the receiving room, because that's how it is, man. Ain't no
This
playing, man.
this is exclusive, man. People gotta hit that like button, man. Subscribe to JAH-ACE TV. Ain't nobody getting this exclusive. You know what I mean? Midget ain't even do no real official interview yet, but he chose to come up on JAH-ACE TV, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, man, it's a blessing. And let me play something real quick, man.
Hey, JAH-ACE, JAH-ACE TV, Tut and Mag Mama, y'all already know. Bless up, JAH-ACE.
Peace and love, JAH-ACE. Big up Van der Veer, Flatbush.
And y'all check out JAH-ACE's podcast. He has a platform too, and he's really good. JAH-ACE TV, y'all check that out.
Yeah, salute the Tut, man, and his wife, Mac Mama, man. Showing me love and all that, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
Nice.
Generals respect generals, man. Respect and all I respect. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But let me play this for you though.
Like, let's say I didn't even know you knew Midget, for example, right?
Right.
How come a lot of people don't mention his name?
I was with Midget, we was in Comstock. Midget blew the motherfucker head off, put the razor up, jumped off the shit, and put his hand in the motherfucker face and was pulling the kid face apart in Comstock yard.
That's how he giving it up.
Midget was a monster. He was a monster. Even like when I was in Auburn, bro, and
Yeah, big up Batman.
Yeah, that's Batman right there. That's my boy. Batman, that nigga looked the other day. I heard from him he got the cowboy hat on. That nigga got the cowboy hat. He did good, man. I used to hear about him in the street in Flatbush when they was little. He younger than me. And I used to hear about him. So
yeah,
him and Robin.
Yeah.
Big up to them because they, they came through and they kept it the same way they was in the street. Honorable, tough, you know what I'm saying? Basically. So gotta give them respect for that because, it showed that put them anywhere on God's green earth, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
And and the thing is that Bat being who he is and everything, he definitely showed a lot of honor and respect for you. And he even told me there was a point in time when I think y'all was in Auburn together, and you let it be known that if anybody even come near him, you was gonna tear him up. You know what I'm saying? So he got nothing but love for you, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
I think a situation happened. You heard?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We spoke about it. He could go way back, man. A lot of things that motherfuckers remember. I'm talking to dudes from Buffalo the other day that told me that the things I used to talk to them about in the box at night, read my books to them, sing my songs, they took it with them home, and they was able to live their life thinking about things like, yo, you got dudes that reciting things to me that shocked me because I remember saying this to them, but I didn't remember that exactly. And when they bring it back, and this is a lot of years ago, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I can't see you, Ace. Yeah, you coming back now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, you back.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man.
It's okay. We just
Somebody hating on something
yeah,
on the other side or
yeah. But
something,
it
man.
don't
They ain't even
stop
trying to
nothing.
let us finish this thing up, man.
It don't stop
Or
nothing. We here.
we here, we back.
Yeah, we here. We back. I see you. I see you clearly.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
like
we
I
was
was
just
saying,
saying about Batman and that, big him up. Rise
yeah,
up.
man,
Send him
because
some votes.
he definitely was showing you mad love and respect, man. And I love that, man. That mine them could just always big up each other and show
Yeah,
respect. You know what I mean?
Ace, before I went in, I only really know Flatbush dudes, couple in East New York, whatever, that I interact with on a daily basis. When I went in there, I'm interacting with Brownsville on a daily basis. East New York, Bed-Stuy, and NA Rock, LG, Harlem, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan style. It's like I'm interacting with everybody. So everybody was able to get to know me. Everybody was able to get to know me, and you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I
the
always hear
respect.
you talk about Ron Du, like how you and him, how
Yeah,
y'all.
right. Me and Ron do, had a little friction. You know, I end up on the floor. Something happened. You know, wish wish is respectful if you're talking to somebody and somebody just walk up on that person and do something to them. Your reflex, you can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, reflex. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, if I'm talking to you and me and you having a conversation and somebody just come up and do something to you,
yeah. You
a
gonna
real
react?
a real person ain't gonna understand. So I had to feel one of them little punches he got because he got a knuckle game. Stood on my feet and we had a little tussle and that was it. End up a few other people got caught in there, repercussion because I was mad. And after that, man, motherfuckers was 17, and we see each other upstate, and it was like, come on, man, we here. That's my boy though. That's my boy. Big up to Mo too, man. Big up to Mo. My 4 billion peoples, even ones that I believe that kept it strong. Big up to them. Big up to Prince and Dre. Big up to a lot of my boys and them. Hold me down. That I met from India. Stacy. And
Who that? Soul B?
yeah, and a lot of them, man. There's so much that basically, Fox. That I'm in touch with right now. They know who they are. Anybody that I'm in touch with, man, that check for me.
You
You know what I'm
came you,
saying?
you
Y'all
came
know who
across,
you are.
you came across Lumumba, right?
Yeah. Back up in Wendy's in 1990, in the early mid 90s.
Yeah, that's my brethren right there, man.
Yeah,
For
Lumumba,
sure.
all the time. I be seeing him on that live. He chilling, man.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Lumumba that took it to the politician.
Yeah, because he
Lumumba's
knew it.
taking it to the politicians.
Yeah, he was doing that he was doing that in the system though. He was going against Babylon.
You know what I think though, Ace? I think while everybody's doing helping out with prison reform or prison prevention, they should recognize honorable motherfuckers. Honorable prison because you know why? It's a lot of us that because of our position and the sacrifice we made, maybe it's a foolish sacrifice, but we made it. We was able to keep galleries secure. Motherfuckers would not get their shit sneak thief. No type of funny business going on. We was able to keep certain things rolling motherfuckers from going to college and don't get caught up in no things. So we was in the trenches because we had family to feed. We wasn't up in colleges every day, but we wasn't really dependent on family in the street either. Telling them, yo, I'm gonna be a good boy. No, I was in there calling my family, tell them go pick that up, go cash that, more coming. So yeah, we got into things, but we was able to do it. And if you were in the military and you go to fight war and you did it honorable, you get you get recognized. So people should stop feel like it's a crime to recognize a person that stood up under those circumstances for so long. Remember, you as good as your last one, brethren. In there, you is really as good as that saying, whatever cliche, figure speech, whatever it is, you with that saying, you as good as your last one, it really spells true in there. Cause you might think you did enough to secure respect, but next thing you know, everybody feel like the next man always going to feel like he could take you. Like he could, like, why motherfuckers respecting him so much? Why motherfuckers is doing this so much? Don't let a motherfucker might find out that you neutral. He's just thinking in his head that he could get as far than anybody else with you. He could talk to you a certain way. He could say indirect shit a certain way. Let you know that he's talking to you. So it ain't easy, and it ain't easy having to survive without having to defend on your family, having to turn around and make sure you make something so your family could be good. My family used to be surprised sometimes when I'm the one that's sending the money.
Sending the money from prison.
Yeah, sending the money. When I'm the one that say, yo, listen, some things is gonna be reaching you every day this week, every day for the next 2 weeks. And when they said, so how much? I said, nah, all that's yours. Keep that. And that's how I did. I put billboard on Times Square from Sing Sing. I get concert all the way down here in Jamaica, paid for it, paid for the host, red carpet style. Because I promote my music. I hired Straight Stunting magazine broads to shoot photo shoot for me, hotel, everything, and I did it from in there. You know, and I had a problem with a motherfucker not paying me. It wouldn't matter who the person is, who he down with. It comes a time when everybody just, if you didn't know, somebody was going to tell you that this kid right here just don't care. Nobody, your big homie, your big, whatever you call yourself. I'm not just calling homie as in blood. I'm calling homie as in whoever the head of your religious organization. The imam himself would understand this nigga might come at me, and he not even a prisoner. He's a civilian, but.
So let me ask you something. Were you considered a black lion?
No, I was never that, but let anybody else tell. Listen, I'm actually in the paperwork. You read it. They said wherever I am, I'm the one, but that was more a perfunctory recognition by the person that really created. Me and him spoke before he, a lot about it, before he even went into, and it's a Rasta movement, it's a West Indian or black movement, whoever, and anybody that's dealing with, Black Lion, and No, but I was never part of anything. You know, I remember one time.
How did you get the paperwork then?
Huh?
Who? So it's only one. So who's the founder of the Black Lions?
Founder of the Black Lion is Scully, but we had a relationship to where he just added me to it, you know, and just saying that I'm you know, just you know, and people recognize that because I didn't know all these years that I used to hear about it, but when I came to Sing Sing and something had happened and they said they want me to come out, see what's going on, and they said, yo, why? That's your thing. And that's when I realized, yo, you know, your name is in there. And I went out and they showed it to me. Yeah, but I understand, man, you know, and more power to them. And I hope they look towards some positive things and turn it into something, you know,
Yeah,
if it's still out there.
I know that it was like at some point it became like a lot of discrepancies or whatever the case may be, right? Because you had it where you know Jack
Yeah,
Lion. I
yeah,
know that Jack had his way of seeing things, and then there was other people that had their way of seeing things, right? And then you had
yeah,
it where when the Church of Ali Selassie first came in with Abuna Fox,
right,
then it became the Black Lions didn't agree with Abuna and his Rasta theology.
right.
There was a whole lot of things going on that people don't know about.
Yeah, the only thing is that I don't believe the jock thing was sanctioned. I heard it probably was, but when I ran into Scully, he was upset that they was going around with that. And I thought he was involved, but he told me he wasn't involved. I'm almost positive that he told me, what the fuck is that? And you know, and
Yeah, because the word I got is that Jock didn't like the way that things was going, and he went and started his own thing.
yeah, that's
The
probably
rebirth,
what happened. But
rebirth Black Lion.
right. Him and I think Devil D.
So a lot of
But
people see. I bring this up to show the peoples, right, that continue to do crime out here, that they don't know that when you go in that system, there's a lot that come with it. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of things going on in there that people out here don't know about. Am I right or wrong?
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
once you go in the system, you automatically become right in the middle of that.
Right in the middle of that, and then you might get hurt up. Cause it's serious.
Yeah, keep talking. I gotta put the charge on. Keep talking.
It's serious, Bridget. It's like you gotta know that a lot of people in there is barely able to sustain, man. You know, you come in there, you think you're gonna have people with you on the outside. You find out, I don't know if they just turn against you because how you treated them or people just have a tendencies to, you know, out of sight, out of mind. But you got a lot of shit is traumatizing, big bro. Shit is traumatizing because you got to make your own way, man, and you got to decide if you want to turn the other cheek, if you want to choose a path by grouping up. I couldn't have my son, my 3-year-old son, telling him about I belong to an organization. When I used to go on, I'm in Southport one day, and this kid, Spanish kid, his mother came to see him, and this kid from Queens, his sister and his girl came to see him. They was beefing the night before. Now they're in the same cage. They shackled up. waist chain and everything, because they just came to Southport. But the Spanish dude that dead the other kid pitches because he was sending them down on a line, you know, and telling him what he doing to his female on the pitches.
Yeah,
He
all that.
jerking off to his female.
Yeah.
No, they went on a visit. Same cage. The kid jumped up. Motherfucker, the kid that took the pictures, he tried to do a preemptive strike because he knew he did some foul shit to this man. And this man purposely had his sister and his girl came to visit him, while this kid pop up on the floor with his mother, his old mother, elderly mother. And now he realized that he in the cage is closed, even though they shackled there at their feet. He called himself getting a drop on this kid. Just got it right in front of his mother, man. This dude just got up and attacked the kid. The kid just jumped up and moved back, and this nigga fell right on his face. You got shackles on, cuffs. You can't even get up.
So he just stomped his head in, right?
Oh my God! Right in front of his mother, man. And I say this to say, my son was there that day on the floor with my mother. They in the cages right in front of us. So my son, you could see he was terrified. He was about 7, maybe 6, 5. And I had to look at him. The cage is separated. So I had to say, come in. Don't even look at that. And I held his hand and I said, you see that? That could never happen to me. That could never happen to me. And that's when I made a vow that that would never happen to me, because I told my son. I used to tell my family things and just live it. I used to be on the floor and I'd tell them, listen, ain't nobody disrespect me on the floor. And I had to live it. You know, don't do that. Cause I sleep with that. That's everywhere. And motherfuckers already know that I'm quick on that jaw and I don't care. Only person that I wouldn't use it in front of is children. You know, I can't do that. I don't like to see fear in kids' eyes. But you down there with a grown-up, you're in trouble. So motherfuckers understand that about me. So, and the fact that they know I didn't really care who you know, who you down with, that was understandable for me. I think after a while, the New York State Penitentiary as a whole understood that I was playing this thing here for real, and it made me and a lot of stand-up dudes click, a lot of stand-up dudes, young dudes. Look, by the time I got to 25, I was seeing young dudes coming in, and I was seeing a lot of young dudes disrespecting the old timers that's still there. That was a part of the organization. That was running the organization. Now the young youth don't got no respect for them. Why? Because they know something that they did in the past. And they know you can't tell me nothing, because 10 years ago they said you ran. 10 years ago they said you
sniffing dope.
You were sniffing dope, shit like that. So old timers was thinking they could, and they didn't know to conduct themselves around these young kids. They think they all of a sudden they become professors, trying to tell these kids what to do. These kids is coming in, these young dudes. I wouldn't even call them kids. They young men. They coming through and they wild. Me, General. A blood ain't never did nothing to me, man. A Crip ain't never did nothing to me, man. A Latin King ain't never did nothing to me, man. Too neutral. But I had no issue with them, man.
How did you see it when you witnessed the rising of the Bloods in the system?
Look, the only thing I know is that I went to HDM in 1994, and blood was coming in 1A, and it was a lot of West Indian down there holding it down. They had it, and West Indians was holding down the black African American dudes that was coming through. That was a part of this thing they call Bloods. Now, Omar, that that I guess credited for starting it in New York, was a friend of mine, and was a workout partner of mine at one time in the box. Every morning, me and him working out. But I know the story, and
Yeah, me and him was in Kawasaki together, the mess hall, man. Me and OG Mac.
Okay, and La Brim was my little brother. He called me father, and a lot of them, man, Magoo, it's my boy, and a lot of them, the ones that was there, and Mandu called me the other day, and a lot of respect, got emotional talking to me, cause we remember the past, he got real emotional. We had a conversation, and me and Stacy speak, and he definitely deserved my respect, cause he held me down when I needed him, and still hold me down, and me and damn, it's so many, but yeah, I see the rise, and I was able to be there in the mix and get the respect from all of them in a way where I didn't have to go at none of them, and none of them had to come at me, because, and plus, come on, man, it was already known that you can't come at me, because I'm gonna come at the head, man. It wasn't no, and I wouldn't care if the head is surrounded by 50 motherfuckers, man. I go right in there, man.
What about you being at CK from Flatbush? I know you knew him before prison. Corey
I know him from around the way. We live in the same neighborhood. We grew up. They was doing their thing, was doing our thing. We didn't hang out in the street, but we know each other. We got close though in HDM. He came to work in 1A, and was down there, and
this before Blood?
No, he was already that. He was already homie, and he was definitely a person that he wasn't having it. He was stepping, and but the thing about the homies though is like the competition is crazy, and it was always this power struggle behavior, and lot of homies just, and another thing, after a while they became dominant. It was nothing more for them to fight for. They was getting respect from the COs. They was going to get respect from, they wiped out the Neatas, wiped them out. Midget to tell you that Bloods wiped out white natives off the map in that place, man. I never see that shit, man. They wiped them off the map.
All the way.
Yo, boy, if I'm talking about wipe them off the map. With for a reason. Yo, they let these motherfuckers start saying they would accept blacks in the organization. Black Neata. I'm talking about African American that don't even know how to speak no type of Spanish, and he around 5, 6 motherfuckers that don't know no English.
Yeah, they was letting anybody in there, man.
Yeah, because they realized that shit they was doing and that racist thing they was starting. Bloods just and Omar kind of told me that. I remember one time we on the gate vibing for hours. We used to vibe, telling me about how he started it, what happened over there in Cali, you know, the situation that made him have to come back to New York. Then when he came through and he see this racism thing going on, and also how dudes is, I think you had a little group back then called Smoke. Smoke.
Yeah.
That was the pre-Bloods, you know, called a lot of Smoke converted to Blood. So Omar had the opportunity to say, okay, we have a little pocket of organization coming up called Smoke. We got the Latin Kings, we got the Nieta. I'ma show them. That's what he said to me exactly. He said, I'ma show these niggas how you bang. I never forget that. He told me that. And then that's what happened. At least I'm saying what he said. And if he's still around, he'd be able to verify that. One thing about me, man, is that there's no reason for me to, I don't even like thinking that I make something up. Know what I'm saying? Like, that should have ride me for about forever because, you know, and I'm glad I could do an interview where I feel free to speak. You know, I could talk greasy. I know a lot of skeletons in the closet. I know who is who. They all know I know who is who. And I could say it freely because ain't nobody gonna say nothing about Midget. Midget lived his life, man. Midget stormed through that facility. Midget stormed through that, man. Wherever I went, I left with a respectful, honorable impression. Respectful, honorable impression. Didn't matter. You understand me? Because I didn't care about property in the cell. I didn't care about none of that. If I didn't care about if I'm going on a visit and I see wrong motherfucker made me see him, the visit is over. I'm not going on a visit. And when motherfuckers realize you that serious, motherfuckers start realizing, even if I send somebody at this kid right here, this kid is coming at me. And you don't have to go to the extreme, Ace, man. Me that for go like, you have to go to the extreme, man. Coming from where I was coming from, not a lot of dudes from the bush that was really stepping to that point, you know, and don't get me wrong, you had a lot of dudes that wasn't having it, but on the neutral side, you did. That's just a fact. And then some didn't know who I was. Brooklyn from Flatbush or Jamaican. But who every other hood in Brooklyn, Harlem, the recognition was there, man, because I did 10 years in the swing before I came home. 10-year run. A lot of people were saying midgets in the box, stay in the box. You know, I didn't get that. I'm not like some dudes that niggas say they hiding in the box. Niggas never say that about me. You can't say that about me. Cause let me tell you something. Even in the box, I done shot the whole motherfucking Southport when the motherfucker disrespect my family behind that gate. 24 hours lockdown, and I figure out a way to tear his head off, man. That fucked the whole Southport up, man. Cause this motherfucker never thought in a million years he thought he could have did all that behind the gate and get away with it. And I just planned it and wiped him off the motherfucking map, man. And watched him being wrapped up like a motherfucking mummy, and so it wasn't no. When I do catch time inside of boxes for things like that, and when my time is up, I'm out. And when I pop up in a joint, It's love. I came through Auburn Transit. And they kept me down there for 10 days, and I had to give back about $70 worth of commissary. And I'm on the motherfucking transit, where motherfuckers can't even get a good toothbrush. Me and Sight Bike. That's how I met Sight Bike. And we had a good time down there. His people was coming through every day. CO couldn't believe it. They had to let us out for haircut, let us out for showers. They had to get people to run down and talk to us because they couldn't stop them.
So when you came across him, you gave him respect because he didn't drop it. He kept it crip all the way through.
Oh man, listen to me, man. Listen to me, man. Something special about him. Something special about it because I think he's the only one from his organization that ever did it the way he did it, man. Nobody else, man. Don't let nobody else fool you. There was somebody else I'd have known. He got the prize for that, man. I seen a lot of people abandon him, man. Matter of fact, right before I left the swing, I was surprised. I went to the box for about 10 days, and he was down there. And that's the time all folks was calling his name in rap songs, saying they're part of his thing. And I was surprised when I said, yo, what's up, Bridget? Oh, you stay. He must say, Bridget, only my mother and his sister come visit him. I said, you already rapping your name and so. And what the fuck is wrong with people? You calling his name in song, and that's what it's because he bought my book. Because a person that's my cousin came to visit him. And he's part of his team, and he ended up buying 2 copies of my book. Because Sightbike tell him to buy it and send him one a copy. When I see him in the box, he's like, yo, I got your book. But me and him got real cool, man. Me and him got real cool, you know. Another standout dude is China. I said Shushan before. China, you know, he got, you know, rest in peace, as they say it. You know, he had his ways.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Myron Duke. He had his ways. He had his ways that didn't align with my ways. So, in one sense, we couldn't be
aligned.
Yeah, but we were so close to it because the same dude I was telling you, Keith Whaley, called him on the bus. And I knew he was coming from signing in on me somewhere else. Got into Elmira, Southampton in there. 18 months later, I'm going to downstate from the port just to go to immigration. He leaving Elmira. We run into each other. He on the bus. Remember, this the man that signed in on me. And he did it without. So I was like, I got to do something. I can't let this thing get off the bus. So I'm next to this dude, China. We cuff. And we planned it. I said, listen, how we planned it, I'm going to get up, go to the bathroom. The nigga ran all the way to the back of the bus like he's motherfucking in the Rosa Parks time. That nigga got on, big ass nigga, got on the bus and jetted straight to the back like he could go. That nigga wish he could have sit outside the bus. The way he rushed to the back. And I knew they were going to separate us in downstate. So this nigga signed in on me. Cut me, signed in on me. You know what? We planned it. China knew him. They was even cool. China couldn't believe it. Say, he signed in and can't stop. Tell on me. They gave me 90 days for this bitch nigga. So we planned it. Wait till the bus was too far in the trip to downstate where they couldn't turn back to the L. Got up. I don't know how I did it. Act like I'm going to the bathroom in the back. That little motherfucking shit they got in the back. And I just jumped right on it. And I tried to go from all the way down, start digging in his hand, digging it. It was an uproar on the bus. Sheriff department came out of his car in the bus. Went downstate, they took me off, took me to the hospital. And I respected what he did. And when he needed me, motherfucker, same from Queens, calling him, calling, trying to put something on his name. He came to Attica. China was in Attica. China was in A block. I was in C block. Boy came on my gallery. I knew about the incident. He was calling a man name. They had drama. It was China and them dudes in Elmira. China, all of them. One of them died the other day. I can't. His name gonna come to me. Damn, it's on the tip of my tongue. Somebody told me he passed away. They had their little beef, but he wasn't supposed to be no punk. But when he came on the gallery, I'm like, yo, I know you. China's in A block. You know what he did with me on that bus, so just leave the gallery. Because China don't even want me to get at you. He just say, get you to A block. He wants you himself. So, bruh, tell him you can't live. He refused to do that. But I had to just force it on him, man. I had to go in his joint, go to the back, said, I come in. I give you the opportunity to leave. So he said, yeah, I'm going to come in and we going to lock the gate in. Who died. I said, come in. And he just checked in. He said, nah, fuck that. And he just checked in. I don't want to call his name, but he sold out behind that. And he got a little reputation. But I was surprised he went out like that. Everybody was shocked.
You don't want to put him on blast?
Nah. I don't want to put him on blast, Ace. Because it's not, I just put that motherfucker on blast because I don't want him to be out there and people don't understand that he's dangerous. The one Keith Whaley, Beardsley Project. But China's gone. Rest in peace. He's not here no more. Look, the kid came to sing and dudes from his organization was going to hold him down. Stand-up dudes, Brooklyn. And they sent me a message asking me, did this really happen in Attica? Did he went out like that? But he ain't even waited. He just checked in on them down there. So let that nigga go, man. I ain't that nigga. They might, motherfuckers might give him props. You know how they do these days. You call out a rat, you get more love, or niggas might don't believe it. Cause look, person might be tough to some people, man, but some people they not. And I encountered a lot of people that was tough to others, but not to me. And I don't see them as that. Know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave that blast. I don't see the person popping up doing nothing. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, hold on for a second. I got somebody at the door. 1 second.
All right.
Yeah.
Y'all go subscribe to the channel, man. Stop playing game. Hit that like button, man. It's free. Subscribe to the channel. It's free, man.
JAH-ACE TV. He keep dope interviews. He did the joint with Batman. That joint was fire.
Yeah, big bro. So look, Ace. I don't want motherfuckers that live honorable in that place to feel like it wasn't worth it. They might come home and they might see a lot of dudes that never did it honorable. Because some dudes live. They just didn't survive. A lot of dudes live, but they never survive. You can't be running around flashing on broads and doing foul shit, sneak thieving, and call yourself surviving. You can't be pulling stunt, not coming outside when your name is called. Look, how I live in there, I don't close no cell gate. I had more things than anybody had. I had more sneakers than more motherfuckers had. I never had to close a cell gate. I drink Ciroc on the visit every visit. I eat KFC on the visit. I eat in front of they used to, I remember visitors used to come by and say, yo, they still got that in the machine. And they visit the prison visitor be like, ma, chill, man, you can't, they don't sell that in the machine. And the shit used to be funny because it came to a point in the swing where I do what I wanted to do.
Yo, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
What comes to mind when you see this picture right here?
I just see my two little sisters grow up, and me in a good state of my bed because I was in the swing and I was just chilling. You know, I was just chilling. I was really, you know, it was respected by all COs. I don't care who you was. You respect me. And I was able to do what I want. I was the person, you know, so that showed me a growth in me where it was at the end of the bed now, and I was basically that too. That's my mother on the right, held me down for the whole bed, and that right there on the left is my niece, Jalissa, and that's me. And that was Sing Sing visit. I probably was, I wasn't drinking that day, but that's what I do down there. You know, when people eating food from the machine, that's me right there. You know, chilling. All those things. I'm on the visit every day. Every visit down there. We all there. We got a whole team. Hamo there. We on the visit every week. Shout out Hamo. You know, he disappeared on me, but that's cool. And we down there. You had Pup that was down there. Shout out Pup. You had T-Bone Blast that was there. That's my people. Those is my crew.
Pup Low and T-Bone Blast.
Yeah, man, those is my crew right there. They love me. You know, even though you know they might have been cool with people that I had to go up against. It's a mutual respect because I went about it so honorable. You know, and me and all of them, we eat together. We hang out together. You know,
yeah.
The respect is tight.
T-Bone Blast always shout you out.
Yeah, I heard that song. We outside, and big that up because he live it honorable, man, and he should get recognized for that. He carried scars for a reason. He wasn't taking none. You understand me? He wasn't, man. And you got to give it to somebody like that. I hear a person did an interview saying he don't give a fuck about niggas that do that, and he call niggas old timers and this. Let me tell you something, man. When I look at dudes that talk like that say things about dudes that I look at them as they're the weak ones, man, because you can't even get a dude props for being stand up in an environment where only 5% of motherfuckers stood up. Only 5%. If that, 95% never made it. They lived, they just never survived. You're looking at a survivor. You talking to a motherfucker that, what you gonna say?
How did this feel though? Tell me how it felt during this day right here.
Go yacht. One with him.
Pour the juice, pour the juice. Give him some of the juice. Give him some of the, give him some of the white Hennessy. Give him the white Hennessy. You can go on. After all them years, after all them years to the journey, I mean, a white Hennessy, brother.
My brother, I think that it was a beautiful moment, man. After 29 years, 10 months, and 18 days, after 16 years in Southport, through the bed, it was really 2 scars on my face, of multiple stab wounds. But you know what? Honorable, honorable. And I don't gotta sit here and talk about the things I did, cause it's self-explanatory. You know, and you just gotta know that this dude, this person right here, live it, honorable, honorable. And I see other dudes that lived it. I see that they doing their thing now. But that was a beautiful. And let me tell you a story. When I came down and I was sitting in the holding area off the plane in that same airport, I was sitting there. We had desk tables. They was interviewing us. The whole precinct came, and they was trying to find out our name. You know, just check, cross check to see if we got any warrants in Jamaica before they release us. They bought us out beef patties, cocoa bread, orange juice. It was good. I'm sitting there. I heard somebody said, "Vassal here." I'm gonna say, "Yo, yeah." It turned out to be a police officer in a plainclothes, stocky dog skin. He said, "Yo, your people them send me for you." I'm like, "They send you for me?" I didn't heard about it. I never got the memo on it. A police officer getting sent for me. And he had a few officers standing close by. All of them is in regular clothes, plain clothes. Look like street dudes. It turned out to be that my brother Peoples is his girl, wife. She's involved in that, and she actually sent the officer and them to escort me. If you see me, I had more than one bags. And the police officers is actually carrying my bags. And it was a beautiful thing. It was 2 cars load, a truck that I rented before I came down, and we just took off, went to Portmore, bought, man, I was in barbershop. I got to tape the documentary where I'm paying for kids' haircut, just free, but that white Hennessy, oh my God, fuck, I look like coming home after 30 years. Yo, I didn't know where the fuck I was. I was talking too loud. Them girls was intimidating. I could tell. And I'm sorry, but they shouldn't have gave me that much. I can't even drink. So you done gave me white Henny walking right out of this motherfucker. I didn't know what was going on. They gave me 1,500 in US currency at the airport. That's about over 200,000. And by the time I went to my apartment in an area called Mona Heights, because I did it big. What you see there, I went to a big ass apartment with a 30-foot swimming pool that I stayed for 4 years. I had to do it. I had to live it. I wasn't coming home. I wouldn't give a fuck if I'd have went broke the next day. I told myself on the day I walk out, I was going to live. I was going to live like I've been living for the past 2 years. I'm not going back to feeling like a nigga boxed in, a nigga. I'm living. And I encourage to look, I wrote 16 novels. I dropped 2 records out since I came home. Yeah, that's my novel. It's under my pseudonym, Marky Spence, on Amazon. It's a ghost fantasy. It's child friendly. Kids could read it. It's a series. That's the first book. I wrote the first 5 books to the series. I'm working on getting them in a bookstore down here. I got the song, The Warning, featuring Fergal Diamond. And I got Malaika. And I got a new song coming out any day now called Cruff. And I want to encourage dudes. It's easy for somebody to say, stay out of trouble out there, get a job at 9 to 5. You hear motherfuckers say, at least I'm making more than I was making in there, 5 cents an hour, whatever. Listen, I don't believe in coming home and settle. And a lot of us, we develop things in there that we wanted to do when we come out. But because peer pressure, your family telling you, just go get a job. Before you know it, you get comfortable. You get old now with being on it. That's a girl I was married to, Erica. Big up, Erica. We still cool. Divorced now, but big up. She kicked the door down for a lot of years. You know, about 7 years straight. Probably never miss a visit. And we was there.
Yeah,
You
bless
know,
up to her, man. Because
she a Brooklynite.
it take a lot. It take a lot for women. You hear me?
Yeah.
Salute to her, because it take a lot for women to actually do
More than
biz with
salute her.
men.
More than salute her. That's
You know
how
what I mean?
that's how I was eating my motherfucking, sipping my Ciroc on the visit. So we used to just get drunk on it. I used to walk on the floor, and them little girls that come in to see their little young boyfriend, they love me because I'm getting everybody drunk. When we on festival, I got 3 bottles of Ciroc, and we just mix them, turn them into 6 bottles, cause we ain't used to this shit. So you chase it, you good, and we down there chilling, eating all type of food, things like that. So yeah, she deserve it. Big respect to her. You know, we still cool. We should reach out to me on social media, but my general, I gotta be a success story, Ace. I wrote 16 novels. I wrote ghost fantasy novels, horror novels. I created a board game. Niggas used to play it. Niggas stole, piss on each other, fight on the staircase in Southport over that game called Clash. I want to create an app for it. I want to get my books in bookstore put out. I'm not settling.
So
I'm
let
not,
me ask
I
you,
hear niggas bragging because they got a 9 to 5.
are there ways that people could get any of your books?
Yeah, you go on Amazon. I got Redemption Road with Zachary Zach. The subtitle is under my pseudonym Marky Spence, MARKEY SPENCE, because I was incarcerated. I didn't want it to get caught up in that, froze my account, my money, so I put it under my cousin name.
Talk about the son of Sam Law.
Yeah, I didn't want it that, and I was focusing on hitting the streets, so I needed any money I could get. You know, big up my brethren, GT, Warren Blackman in Canada, who dropped 20-something stacks on me out the door. Big up Yellow Boy in Rochester, Yellow Boy Finest, who came at me. You know, I don't respect a lot of dudes that lie and call themselves ducking me instead of manning up. Look, I know when you ducking me. Remember, this is Midget. I carried a lot of motherfuckers. Let's be real. My presence alone keep niggas safe. My presence alone keep niggas from being safe on the visit. Niggas don't talk to their girl. Niggas don't try. My presence alone. make motherfuckers easy. I could look through my window and stop a riot from going on in the yard. Just because niggas know it's gonna be repercussion and they don't want that. I'm not saying, you know, I got hurt up, so I know I'm not mortal. I'm not immortal. But it was look, if you did bid in New York's penitentiary, you was in the loop, and you don't know that this man was playing for keeps, then something wrong with you, man. You know, and big up a lot of my boy. Look, I'm in Jamaica, but I was raised in New York. That's my base. That's where you know, big up Roderick, Andre, big up motherfuckers that held me down, still holding me down. Look, I'm self-sufficient, but I was always about respect with my brethren. And there's times when all my brethren had to do was collect money in the street from niggas that's hustling for us, and just my mother let them in the crib, or they come in my crib and we just throw money on it. We 14, 15, coming out, renting limos to go to 42nd Street. We holding it down, and I was the breadwinner. So, and I was the breadwinner, and in there, in the correction facility, I was motherfuckers protectors just by my presence. And I know dude, so don't, like, I'm not settling. My life is already, I was let out for a reason to pursue my achievement that I did. Look, Ace, all that I've been through, I was able to write 16 books, create board game, reality shows, put billboards up on Times Square, hire models, straight stunt models to pose and do my, you know, keep concert. Everything was written for me. I'm not settling. I gotta be a success story. You understand me? Because
How
I
many of the
can't.
books?
Huh?
How many of the books did you get published yet, or you working on publishing the rest of them
Just
now?
one. Just one. The one, because I did it. And the thing about it is, my choice was to start with my book. But when I came down here, I got introduced to a legendary producer called Computer Paul, produced songs for artists that he the one that started a lot of these artists that's big now. They sit right in the chair I sit on when I go to the studio. He pointed out he's a legend. He got his plaques. He a Grammy Award winner. He heard
So
my
Warning,
story.
so
Huh?
Warning was made. Warning beat was made for you.
Yeah, exactly. For me. Matter of fact, it was made for artists to put a compilation on it. And once I put the Warning on it, I don't hear no compilation. It was it. Warning got released as I think the producer had made a rhythm for somebody else. And when he heard my song on it, he ain't rap, he just kept it because it was his. But the song just fit it. And it's on Spotify right now with Malaika. They both on Spotify. I'm not doing a lot of promo because I came to Jamaica and I haven't been here since I was 11. I'm living outside the hood. I'm not really, but I gotta
But
go
people,
do a lot of promo this year. That's the Warning right there, featuring
so
Fergo
so
Diamond.
so people can go on Spotify and hear Warning, right?
Yeah,
And YouTube, right?
yeah. And
All right.
Malaika, the other one.
Yo, go check Midget music out on Spotify and
You got
YouTube.
you got the other one? Malaika, you got the cover?
No.
Damn. It's on Spotify though. Once you go to it, it'll pop up. But yeah, it's two of them. It's Malaika and that one. That Malaika was produced by Billy Joe Media because look, it don't matter your age, man. Look, I left when I was 20. I came back out, I was 50, but I came back out in a place that I knew a world, even though it was in Jamaica, it's still society that it seems like I never had a toothache in my life. I never had a hair loss. I never even wear masks through the worst of COVID. They used to go crazy in Sing Sing because I wouldn't wear it. Because I told them, yo, my life, I'm not going to die by no COVID. My mother used to visit me, my girl. They used to be like, you really not wearing this mask, man? I said, I ain't going to die from no COVID, man. My life, my destiny. You think all the things I've been through, all the things I did was not for a reason? I made a board, Ace. I came up with 25. I end up with 30 because I caught a 3 to 6 in Comstock and I caught a 1.5 to 3 1/3 in Attica. And I made my first board. And by then, I had billboard on Times Square to show them, books to show them that I did. They could read the first 10 chapters of my memoir called What Really Happened Between the Years 1994, 2023. I dropped the first 10 chapters for free. I ain't come out with a whole book yet, but it's done, it's completed. But because they told me a curveball, I thought I was coming to New York. Immigration snatched me up. I wasn't able to come out with the full book, but I'm waiting for it to come down so I could put out my book, What Really Happened Between the Years. It's really my struggle going through there, where I went, things that happened. I try not to mention no names, because listen, it's too many names to mention. But all I'm saying is, I don't like to see motherfuckers that ain't did it honorable talking greasy about niggas that did. And niggas ain't go through what niggas went through in there to be saying things like they don't give a fuck about nobody. Yeah, you got your guns now, but you talking to a motherfucker that had to stand up in an environment where motherfuckers was falling like dominoes. 1 minute you hear a dude real, the next dude you hear he done got knocked out and walked away. So I have some respect for motherfuckers that did this, man. And then I heard even entertainers saying like Jamaican prison is rougher than prison up there. I wanted to correct that because there's a famous artist that said that because he did time. Condition-wise, America is easier than Jamaica. But let me tell you this. When you're in an environment where there's a million different nationalities, see, if you're in Jamaica, everybody around you is Jamaican. Everybody around you is either Christian or Rastafarian. And that goes together. When you're in an environment, when you're around Muslim, motherfucking white supremacists, think that is easy. Think that is easy when in Jamaica, a motherfucker is not tolerating a motherfucker homosexual activity going on next door. Up there, if you don't put your foot down, you got motherfuckers that want to get down and dirty with another nigga next door to you. And if you got drama with a Muslim, you got to be on point for all Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful how you compare and say one institution is worse than one because the living condition. Don't let that having a TV in your joint, having a toilet, having things fool you because in there you messing with officers that know dudes from the hood and they giving them knives. They set dudes up. They leaving their joint open for dudes to run up on you. It's dangerous in that place. And it's a reason why a lot of dudes just never survived it. You understand me? And when you do survive it, you deserve some respect. So one day I would like to see motherfuckers get a little walk of fame for their effort. It could be plaques. It could be what they went in for. And it got to be honorable. We know the honorable ones where your grandchildren could come look and see what you did. Because a lot of motherfuckers fed their family from in there. You got niggas talking all this shit about, let me tell you this. You got motherfuckers that to feed their family, and then the only way you can feed your family is if you had respect. Because the average motherfuckers in there is not paying you. If you drop somebody hand, he a part of an organization. He don't got to pay you because organization gonna hold him down, and they want to smoke too. They want to. So my thing, I supply the whole motherfucking place and shit. Ain't nobody gonna take nothing from me. Cause soon as they even say, "Yo, Midget, I don't got it," they gotta go to motherfucking go to PC or go to motherfucking Yonkers Hospital or Wyoming Hospital or something. Go think about that. And got dudes that was keeping it serious. Ron Duke was another dude that wasn't having it. You understand me? Ronnie Williams. And shout out to Ron Duke that's still in there. Bronx Finest, Harlem. Ron Duke that, you know, they made a movie Paid in Full. He was supposed to be, I don't know if he's one of the characters, but Ron Duke became a good buddy of mine, you know, and the old timer, free Ron Duke, cause he lived it honorable. You know, he did it, you know, but he's still in there, and everybody respect Ron Duke, you know? Everybody respect Ron Duke, and you know, shout out a lot of dudes that still in there keeping it going. I speak to them, you know, I don't want to, man, so many, they know who they are. I speak to them, Eastern, Sing L, they call me, we speak, and they play my music. They love my music. And my passion is just to be a success story, Ace. You know, just to be a success. You know why, Ace? I did it, big bro. I did it, big bro. I don't gotta worry about a nigga coming out and put me on blast. And a motherfucker should wonder why I don't put them on blast. It's nothing for me to, and everything I say is a fact. I mean, come on, man. What you gonna say? He's lying on me because he don't like. I don't do that. But y'all know who y'all is, man. Y'all never did it honorable. Y'all live what y'all didn't survive. Y'all had dirty things on your jacket. Y'all was doing a lot of foul shit, and now y'all want to come on motherfucking social media hugging girl. I hope you told that girl you was pulling out your dick. I hope you told them shorties you was in there pulling out your dick. And beating tickets. Motherfuckers was beating them flashing tickets like they was going out of style. And motherfuckers need to stop acting like 1 minute they saying that ain't nothing what you did in there. It don't count. Yes, it does count. Because this shit has become a community. Everybody know everybody. Motherfuckers know what you did last summer. Motherfuckers know what you did last summer. And you might be in a better position now to lay a motherfucker down, but you want to die a coward, man, because at one point in your life, you was a coward. I was never a coward. Under no circumstances. In the street, in there, I just did it, man. And
salute to all the fallen soldiers too, man. You know,
yeah, definitely,
a lot of
man.
people, people ain't make it along the way, man.
You got JAH-ACE. JAH-ACE died down here. He was an honorable. You know, you had you had, like I said, Shushan. You know, China. You know, I have good relationship with both of those, and I know if they was around, they would have checked in. I can hear Shushan now. Facel! That used to see me. They used to twist up like in a dance hall. Facel, boy! But one thing we know, we on deck together. He know this. The respect is concrete, my general. The respect is concrete. You understand me, hey, son? Big up the youth them from Flatbush still hold me down. Not the ones them who's ducking, that I know you ducking, and I'm just, you know I know you ducking. I don't even know why y'all bigging me up, giving me all the praise, but then duck. Let's show what type of dudes niggas are. But I'm chilling, I'm home, I'm good, I'm eating, I'm doing music, I'm pursuing my thing. This is my job. Know what I'm saying? This is my job. This is all the thing that I accumulate in there in 16 years in Southport. When I gotta live around motherfuckers that's slinging feces. That one motherfucker control the gallery. Nobody else can come out. He can play with your food. He could dead you, don't gotta feed you. He could stand right in front of your joint and eat your food. Right in front of you. He'll eat your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner right in front of your face. And the only thing you could do is throw something on him and get moved. Stop your toilet up and flood it out. I had to do that. I just divide. Nigga ain't never to play with my food. Just get that straight. I never had that. I remember one time me and Dizzy was on a gallery, and motherfucker bucked the dude for his chain on a visit. He came back. He just got in and said that this thing was me and Dizzy Peoples. And he started mumbling, motherfuckers, y'all gonna get my jewelry back. And the next day he started saying he cooking up a potion. And this shit, that nigga shaking up that motherfucking shampoo bottle of feces and talking about this shit here is called a potion. And I know two motherfuckers getting it. I said, Dizzy, I ain't going outside to that yard. This nigga ain't throwing no. We had to let a nigga suit up. The porter suit up with a whole plastic bag on and get this thing off the gallery car. This thing was waiting to throw that shit at me and Dizzy. And you know, like I said, big up, you know, my brethren, them that link up with me, you know, and big up Pop, big up. You know, I want to big up a lot, but a lot of dudes seems to be
Pop back in right now in a violation right now.
Look at that shit, man. That shit is not good news.
Yeah.
Not good news because
he hollered at me before he hollered at me before he went in.
Damn, no wonder why I hear from him because you know, just stick to your plan, man. Don't come home. Don't let your mother, don't let no female, don't let your kids take you away from what you planned in there. Because a lot of dudes got it all planned out step by step. They worked for it. They wrote it. They made it up. They created. And then they come home, and because they want to please their family, because their families, they show up, yo, he's getting a good job. Ain't no motherfucking good job. If you're not going to go to the top, man, something ain't right because you spend too much time. And I encourage motherfuckers to get involved with social media. I'm just learning how to do the AI thing. Motherfuckers is hiding from the camera, talking about you too tough. Motherfuckers, I should be the one that should be hiding from the camera. I should be the one that should. I don't give a fuck. You want to come look for me? You want to take me out? I'm going to die honorable. Cause nigga, you ain't gonna get me to beg for my life. You might as well shoot it. I've been in a situation where I'm in a bathroom and non-Spanish niggas just come in the bathroom and just say, yo, midget, you can't live in here. I'm taking a piss. And I just walked in the bathroom, just moved into the house. Ain't even unpacked yet. I'm in the bathroom, motherfuckers just walked in and I'm pissing. And next thing I know, I'm surrounded in the bathroom by 9 big-ass motherfucking Puerto Rican. And I'm like, yo, nigga got his joint in his hand. And I'm like, all right, man, I'ma leave. But these things know there ain't gonna be no leaving. But yet still I'm telling them I'm leaving, but I pull out and I'm backing them off. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna leave. All right. But before I know it, they went and dropped that slip because everything was cool. They said, yo, one dude, I can't remember his name, but in that incident, since I mentioned it, I gotta say it was a dude that I met in court, just came through, still high off that dope. When I went to C95, he was good now, big boy, Ray Ray. Not the regular Ray Ray, but this kid Ray Ray. And he just came in the bathroom and said, yo, what's up, man? Man, give him a fair one. And I'm like, yo. It's like, yo, Midget, yo, we don't want him living in here because, you know, we don't trust him. Said, yo, everything good. And we resolve it. I went there. I start unpacking. But everything, they don't even know. I guess they caught on. I'm fixing up everything because I'm leaving everything behind. I don't give a fuck about sneakers. I'm just making it look good because I already lined up about 4 of them. And those 4 was going to get it. You crazy? You can't bat me down. But before I could do it, they called me to the bubble. They said, yo, man, paperwork came in, man. They said they don't want you in here. And they escorted me out. So I see dudes that doing good that I was on the battlefield with together or as opponent. Brooklyn dudes, old timers, they doing what they doing. More kudos to them. But while they doing reform, prevention, give themselves some recognition if you stand up. Don't be afraid to recognize dude that stood up in there. It's not easy. It's not easy. You understand? You can't just wipe that off the rug and just say, and a lot of dudes is doing it because they got shit in their closet. And now they resent motherfuckers that don't. Ace, you got to be careful of that. A motherfucker dislike you because he don't got nothing on you, but you got something on him. Just for that reason, a motherfucker would don't even want. Look at me.
That's a fact.
Look at me, Ace. I can't be around people that I've been with because I know a lot of them fall out. And a lot of them is down here. And I could tell they resent me. You know what it is, Ace? Nobody expect for me to touch. It was already decided that I was going to spend the rest of mine in there. Because the years in the box, and even months before I went to board, I got into an incident that it had to involve violence and extreme violence. And I got around it, and I was supposed to be the person that people would look at and say, see, that's why I turned the other cheek. That's why I let niggas sneak thief me. That's why I let a nigga start, because I would have ended up like Midget. I'd have stayed there for the rest of my life. I knew that was going to be the conversation. Motherfuckers going to use me to justify their inadequacy. To justify, because I was the poster boy. Once I was dead in there, it would have been, I ain't do what I did. I held it down. I bow out because I ain't wanted to end up like him. He was the one, and you know what? I popped up. I popped up with my reputation and my name, my honor intact.
When you see this, what comes to mind when you see this?
That just comes to my heart, man, where I grew up at, where I threw up at. You know, always embedded in my head. You know, and I carried it. I carried it. There is not one other person that carried it like me. And that's a whole hood.
Yo, as we close out this, man, we know that it's gonna be more parts to this, because as you drop the books, as you come out with the music, we're gonna have you back up on here on JAH-ACE TV, man. because it's a must that we support the journey. Because, like you said, people counted you out, man. A lot of people had you for dead. They were saying that you was never coming out. Some was hoping that you ain't come out. And a lot of people was hoping that you ain't come out because they think that you're going to put them on blast. Because a lot of motherfuckers that you know, yeah, so we going to end this right here, man. I guess his phone went dead and everything, but this is a classic right here, man, on JAH-ACE TV, man. Midget, a.k.a. Chris. Definitely, you know what I mean, a legendary cat, man, that put on, whether it was the police or whether it was other prisoners or whatever the case may be, he did what he had to do, man. And that's how we gonna do it, man. We gonna end it. Yeah, we gonna end it right here.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, salute to you, man. And like, you know, there's a lot of people that when they see your name come up when I drop the video, they're gonna be worried because they're like, oh man, he gonna put me on blast. They're gonna be scared. You know that, right?
Yeah. But they're gonna find out that you at my age, and because I just don't like the fact that people, a lot of people, it's like they want you to put them on blast. It's like they hungry for it. Like they want you to call them out because in one sense, you kind of saying, do what you do, but be careful because you're gonna say the wrong thing, and then the dudes that ain't been through what a motherfucker been through would turn around and said, fuck y'all niggas. That's good because you wasn't in that environment we was in. If you was there with us, you wouldn't have said fuck us. Let's be for real. If you was in there, you could have never say fuck me. You could have never say fuck True Shine. You could have never say fuck T-Bone Blast. You could have never fuck say that. You only saying it because you feel you're in a position now. So I realize motherfuckers just live off position. When you're in a position, you say some things. When you're not in another position, you shut up. But more power to everybody. And just know that Midget know who the real stand-up one is. And Midget recognize them and think they should be recognized. We're not glorifying what we did. Trust me. I could tell you movies and stories for days. I could tell you things that would shock you, that you wouldn't think that it was possible to do, that I was able to do, to show motherfuckers that it was real with me. You can't get no problem with me and think that you're gonna I'm popping up in the spot and you staying. I did the unbelievable to let motherfuckers recognize. And I ain't did it for them. I did it because I was an angry, short temper, prideful dude. And if you step on my toe in the mess hall, you gotta say sorry. I don't care if you 7 feet. You step on Midget toe in the mess hall, you gonna say sorry. You understand me? And I don't gotta talk it. The hood could speak for me. And I'm right now, I'm just pursuing my career. I felt that part of my life. And I'm gonna tell you something before we go, Ace. Motherfuckers gotta understand that you can't, let's just say, Ace, that a lot of people have to realize that you got to learn how to just stay out of shit, man. Just try to make it doing something legit, doing something legal, doing something. Cause after you've been through that, and you lived it honorable, you realize that it's only 90% of motherfucking real motherfuckers that exist. Because we got some foul motherfuckers, man. We got dudes that that has no conscience, man, and they in there. And for you to work your way around that, still be honorable, yo, Ace, a nigga couldn't take a state soap out of my joint. I don't close my shit when on a visit. Ace, when I'm going on a visit, and if you there, you call me downstairs, say, yo, Midget, damn, I need something. I'm like, yo, listen, I'm going on a visit. I'm gonna leave my joint open. Just run up and get it out. And you come in I ain't never, a nigga ain't never sneak thief nothing out of this motherfucker joint in 30 years. And I did 10 years in the swing. And anybody could tell you the swing. That's the closest you ever gonna get to the street, prison-wise. People don't lock in on galleries. Motherfuckers do what they do. When I come through, you can't take nothing out the cellar. You can't disrespect me on a visit. I don't care if you police. Don't do that. Don't do that. My mind was already made up. When I go on a visit, you know what I do? I get my food. My family bring my food, my drink, sometimes my liquor. And I just take out that thing and I just put it right next to my food. And I'm good for the day. Because everybody know, once you violate, if you, and the officers, as well as that's it. That's it, big bro. And I'm not here glorifying that. I'm not here trying to, I don't need to look no strike. I'm just saying that I'm in Jamaica now. I'm doing things now that I always started doing from in there and I executed. But don't think Midget ain't still Midget. Chris, Jamaican Chris is not still Jamaican Chris. And big up to all the dudes that recognize that. And it's always the honorables that recognize it. If you fall back on Midget, that tell you something about yourself. You would big me up. You would big me up. You would talk about me. You would tell people, but then you duck me. Remember, I got a list of everybody that ducked me. Especially motherfuckers that started out good, then decided to go left. That place should have tell you, you dealing with a dude that been good when I was in the street, but you dealing with a dude that was even extra good in there, where it's almost impossible to be good if you're not down with something. If you're not, I wasn't down with nothing, man.
But you know that if somebody think about saying your name in any way, that's when we just going be everything is on blast. Then you gonna come up here,
unless it's a motherfucker. You know what? Maybe, but I don't think so, man. It's
no,
not.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. But I'm just saying that
it's not. It's a lot of things. But look, don't feel bad when you come on social media. You know, I know what you did last summer. I'm not here for that. See, I did an interview that usually go with controversy. I could have went, but nah, that's not my style. I'm a grown man. I did that, but for all those who came a boy in there, East New York, Brownsville, the Star, motherfucking NA Rock, Fort Greene, Harlem, Bronx, Staten Island, Queens. I'm here. You know, this is a long time coming. I respect the fact. And I'm glad that I did it with you. Not only you from my hood, we went to school together, but you know my history too. And I think this is a stepping stone, because later on you'll be able to go back to this and say, I'm the first one who did a live interview with Midge. No matter how many interviews I did from here on out. I did some radio interviews down here, but now you're the only one that got an interview from me live, and you had called for that, because even you held me down. Even you held me down. You know what I'm saying? You know that. You know what I'm saying? So respect that, and I respect the fact that you got your thing going on, and a lot more people should support it, because you want to keep bringing real people, and you want to keep bringing honorable people with you. And just know that, man, I enjoy doing this tonight. And Midget is in the building, and Blackbush just got to know, you know, that, look, Midget is on deck. Midget is on deck. You understand me?
Up.
Bless up, man, and bless up to the peoples. Bless up to the peoples. Rise up, freedom is a must. And remember,
freedom is a must.
And remember when not just give me a 30-second, in 1994, when I went to HDM, and I know Scully and them, I noticed they saying rise and shine, freedom is a must. And that was the rally cry then. And when I blew trial and I got sentenced to 25, I was reading the Bible one night, and I just keep coming across the phrase rise up, rise up. And I just got up the next morning. I said, yo, Scully, it's not rise and shine now, rise up. And he said, freedom is a must. And I said, yo, rise up. And it became a rallying cry. And that was all she wrote. And I continued that rise up shit with the freedom is a must added. When I came to the L, I explained to you, they locked me down. And to see that rise up became so dominant right now is the #1 greetings in the whole Department of Correction. Everybody's saying it. And there's a kid that out there now promoting freedom is a must t-shirt and thing. And it came from a struggle, but to see people rise up now and realizing now where it came from and really giving me my respect, it made me feel that at least I was able to leave behind something that, because everybody now is shouting it. And the new talk is rise up all over the state. Even the COs and them shouting it. I remember when it started in 1994 and it got big. It started in there like other things, popularized. But I never run around and took credit till recently, because I even added copyright in something that I was doing. And people say, yo, Midget, yo, that shit is dominant now, man. You never took no credit. I just started, I blew trial, and the motherfucker was, I just got to say, yo, rise up, man, rise up. And the freedom is I'm also, yeah, my brethren, we going to link up, man. Love, rise up, freedom is
love and guidance, King.
JAH-ACE TV, big up. Big up my mom, love my son, my family. You don't know. All right, sir. We off?
Brooklyn, 16 hours real. JAH-ACE. We need a little the boy don't chat tough when the key knock. Listen when I hear that. With a double action, a rap pump action. Shot the drive through face like a me back. So don't chat tough when the key knock. Listen when I hear that. With a double action, a rap pump action. Shot the drive through face like a me back. We ever depend the paper chase, but no in a haste. Warriors with no fit face. I know everywhere me I go show me face. But please, don't make me have to show me brave. Money me a praise, so me a behave. So don't make me have to beat it like one of these slaves. Right now me feeling high, man. Thou shall not fuck with I, man. Boy don't chat tough when the key knock. Listen when I hear that. With a double action, a rap pump action. Shot the drive through face like a me back. So don't chat tough when the key knock. Listen when I hear that. With a double action, a rap pump action. Shot the drive through face like a me back. Me a the realist when them hear about. Brain fly like airport. Bertha bring storm, get a raincoat. Bullets are flying like birds when they stay cold. Bertha breeze cock, no deep throat. I just me, I feel reload. Clip long like the road, shoot you a Spain being land out a seafoot.